So growing up, I really enjoyed practicing etudes and exercises. Maybe I was a music nerd back then, but I really enjoyed it because it was fun to work on bow technique, left hand technique, and I found them to be actually very beautiful. The harmonies are really beautiful and expressive, and that's what I enjoy most about the music. I find that the story is really in the harmonies, so I can talk more about that in another video. But for now, I thought I would go ahead and talk a little bit about Kreutzer 4, which is the famous bow staccato etude in the Kreutzer book. And it's actually not just about bow staccato, it's also about bow distribution and bow speed. So, every time I look at an etude, even as a student, I could see, what the composer or the teacher, usually the composers who assembled these books were also violin teachers. And so I can see what they're getting at, what do they want to accomplish by practicing this, or maybe what do they want their students to learn. So usually there's one main point or two or three main points, and then maybe a couple of peripheral techniques to be learned, but that was mainly it. So in this one, we have to learn how to spend the bow and how to save the bow. So the first note is just a quarter note. So we have to really get to the tip there if you can, and then apply pressure, and then you have to accomplish that bow staccato in a small space, which is fine, because if you have a good bow staccato, you don't need very much. You can just play it. You can really make it very small. I could fit probably 100 in at least in a bow if I wanted to. I haven't ever counted, but then we have an accent, which just makes things a lot harder, because we do have to use a bit of, we have to spend some bow for that, and then we have to sustain it, and then we have to make it beautiful. And then the next one, after that slow bow, then we have to really go fast again, and then we have to save again, and then it goes fast again, and then... So you have to think about spending bow, and then working on your bow staccato, then you have to accent, then you have to save bow. And so it's a lot of things for the brain to think about in a series, in a sequence. So then there's variations of rhythm. So you can see in measure 4 that it's actually the down bow is now... You have even less time to get that bow speed going. So, and then at least this one is a triplet. So at least it's a little bit better than accomplishing a fast bow speed in an eighth note amount of time. But it's still, we thought the quarter note was challenging, and then it gets more challenging. So then we have to deal with string crossings and making sure that the bow staccato is still crisp throughout the level changes. So anyway, those are the main teaching points, and I'll try to create a part 2 for this Kreutzer 4 etude. But I highly recommend it. I still play it anytime I want to work on bow staccato. There are others too, of course, but this is just classic. It's great. So if you haven't worked on it recently, I highly recommend it.